So we'll start the next session. So in the last session, we have discussed about the problems related to the complete design of the journal bearing of the particular application. So same type of problem. So in the last problem, we have designed the general bearing for the some application. Now same way we are going to design the general bearing for some other application. So same type of problem we are going to discuss today. So if you see the problem, see here they told that design a journal bearing for a centrifugal pump. Now we are going to design a bearing which is used for the centrifugal pump, and this centrifugal pump is running at 1200 rpm. Diameter of the journal is 100 mm and the load acting on the bearing is 15 kilonewton. So they have given a centrifugal pump. Now we are going to design a general bearing for the centrifugal pump application. So the pump is rotating at a speed of 1200 rpm. Therefore small n is equal to 1200 rpm. Diameter of the journal, it is nothing but small d is equal to 100 mm, and load acting on the bearing is 15 kilonewton. Convert into newton, that is 15,000. Take L by D is equal to 1.5, that is nothing but length divided by diameter is equal to 1.5. Bearing temperature is equal to 50 degrees Celsius, that is nothing but TB is equal to 15 degrees Celsius. And ambient temperature, in the question only they have given both bearing temperature and ambient temperature. Ambient temperature is equal to TA is equal to 30 degrees Celsius. Full stop. Find whether artificial cooling is required or not. So we have to design the bearing. That is nothing but we have to calculate the dimensions of the journal and the bearing, and we have to calculate the viscosity of the oil and the type of the oil, and we have to calculate how much amount of heat is generated, how much amount of heat is dissipated, and whether the artificial cooling is required or not, and how much amount of power loss or end leakage. All the things we are going to calculate. So in the same procedure, so here in the question they have given bearing temperature and the ambient temperature. With the help of bearing temperature and the ambient temperature, we can able to find out the operating temperature. If operating temperature is not given and TB and TA is not given, then we can assume the operating temperature. But here they have given bearing temperature and the ambient temperature, so we can't able to assume the operating temperature. By using these two, we are going to calculate the operating temperature. By using the formula, TB minus TA is equal to T0 minus TA divided by 2. This is the condition. Now here we know the value of TB, we know the value of TA, substitute, and only unknown is T0. So we will get the operating temperature T0 is equal to 70 degrees Celsius. And sure. So in previous problem and all, they are not given TB and TA, so we have assumed the operating temperature. So in this problem, they have given TB and TA, so that is bearing temperature and ambient temperature. So at that time, we should not assume, we are going to calculate the operating temperature. Now we got the operating temperature is equal to 70 degrees Celsius. Now the first step is from the table number 24.2, based upon the application, we are going to note down the all the 6, that is 5 parameters. One is maximum pressure, diametrical clearance ratio, absolute viscosity, and bearing modulus. And another thing you have to see, L by D ratio, they in the question only they have given. Now if you see the figure, if you see the table number 24.2, see this is the table number 24.2. This is the table number 24.2. Now here in the first column, machineries application, for which application we are going to see, that we will available in the first column. Now they have given the problem related to the centrifugal pump. Now in the first column we have to check where we will get the centrifugal pump. If you see here, see, keep on here. See here we are having centrifugal pumps. Now for this centrifugal pump, now these are the 3 things: bearing, axial, mine, rotor. Always I told that we have to refer the axial. Now for this axial, first thing we have to note down, that is maximum pressure P is equal to 0.69 to 1.87, that we have to note down. Next, diameter clearance ratio Xi, that is equal to L, C by D is equal to 0.001. L by D is equal to 1 to 2. We have to take 1 to 2. But in the question directly they have given 1.5. So we are going to take L by D is equal to 1.5. Next, viscosity neta is equal to 2.16 into 10 to the power of minus 3 pass. Bearing modulus S double dash is equal to, always we have to take for SI units, that is 241.8 into 10 to the power of minus 9. This is the first step you are going to note down. This is very important step. Ensure. So after note down all the things, see now you can see here. So we have taken maximum pressure, diametrical clearance ratio, L by D, since in the question they have given directly we are taking, right? Absolute viscosity 25 into 10 to the power of minus 3 pass, bearing modulus 483.5 into 10 to the power of minus 9. So this is the first step. So after taking this, second step is design. And sure, second step is design. Now this is the maximum pressure. So always when you are going to design, we should not consider the maximum pressure. We are going to consider the allowable pressure. So maximum pressure is 1.37. So allowable pressure should be less than the maximum pressure. Therefore, we are going to select allowable pressure P is equal to 1 MPa. We are converting into meters. Y means everything we are substituting in meters. Therefore, 1 into 10 to the power of 6 Newton per meter square. And should, once you take allowable pressure, then by using the formula, pressure is equal to load by area. Area is equal to L into D. Substitute P, substitute W, they have given W, but here L by D ratio they have given in the question, L by D is equal to 1.5, then we can take it as L is equal to 1.5 into diameter, substitute L is equal to 1.5 into D, then calculate diameter. So unknown diameter is equal to 100 mm. Once you get diameter, substitute here L is equal to 1.5 times of D, then we will get L is equal to 150 mm. Now if you cross substitution of L and D in this formula, substitute W, substitute L, substitute D, then we will get P is same value, that is 1 into 10 to the power of 6 Newton per meter square, what we have considered the allowable pressure. So now we have calculated the diameter of the journal and the length of the bearing. And the pressure, axial pressure, allowable pressure is equal to 1 into 10 to the power of 6 Newton per meter square. Next, this is the first step, that is second step, that is nothing but design. Next step is finding the oil, that is selection of the oil. Now in the first step, we have taken the viscosity of an, we got viscosity of an oil is 25 into 10 to the power of minus 3, and we got operating temperature is equal to 70 degree. By using this viscosity and operating temperature, we are going to select the type of the oil. First, we are going to refer the figure number 24.2b. And sure, by in the figure number 24.2b, by using neta and by using T naught, we are going to get the type of the oil. See, if you see figure number 24.2b, 24.2b, see, this is the figure 24.2b. Now here we are having temperature is equal to 70 degrees Celsius and absolute viscosity is 25 into 10 to the power of minus 3. And sure, 25 into 10 to the power of minus 3. So we will get absolute viscosity in y-axis and operating temperature T naught in x, that is in x-axis. So by using those things, we will get type of the oil is SAE 40. So here we will get the number oils. So we are having 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 like that. SAE 40. See now here we are having 2, 3. It is in Pascal, that is absolute viscosity in MP3. So we will get 25 somewhere here. 25 into 10 to the power of 3. And 70 degree here. So move this 70 degree in the upward direction like this, like this. Next, bring this 25 degree towards the right side. Both will meet at this point. Both will meet at this point. That is 25 into 10 to the power minus 3 pass and 70 degree. At this point, we are having curve is SAE 40. And so therefore, we got SAE, that is nothing but the oil selected is SAE 40. Now we have to check whether the selected oil is right or not. So for that, we are going to calculate bearing modulus. S double dash calculated is equal to neta n dash by P. Substitute neta. N dash is nothing but n divided by 60. Substitute P. We will get 500 into 10 to the power of minus 9. So whatever the calculated value should be greater than the obtained value from the first table. From the first step. Now from the first step, bearing modulus double dash we got is 483.5 into 10 to the power of 9. But calculated is 500 into 10 to the power of minus 9. Hence the selected oil is, that is thick film lubrication is possible. Hence the selected oil is suitable. And so this is the third step, selection of the oil. Continue. So after calculating the selection of oil, next step is heat generated. We have to find out. Heat generated, the formula Hg is equal to mu P L D into V. So here we know P, we know L, we know D, and we can able to find out V, but unknown is mu. So mu we are going to calculate by using the figure. We are going to calculate the mu. That is nothing but by using the figure number 24.20, we are going to calculate mu. Already I showed in the last sessions how to calculate mu by using this figure 24.20. That is, in this figure we are having x-axis is S Summerfield number and the number of curves is L by D, and y-axis is variable mu divided by psi. And sure. So before calculating mu, first we have to calculate Summerfield number. Yes, by using the formula neta n dash by P into 1 divided by psi square. And sure, neta n dash by P into 1 divided by psi square. By using that formula, we are going to calculate that is Summerfield number. Substitute neta, substitute n dash, substitute P and psi. We will get Summerfield number is equal to 0.219 and L by D is equal to infinity. That is the thing, but L by D is greater than 1 infinity. Now if you see the figure 24.20, so we will see the figure 24.20. See, this is the figure 24.20. So here we got S and we are having L by D. So here L by D we are having 1 by 4. L by D is equal to 1.2. L by D is equal to 1 and L by D is equal to infinity. But here we are having L by D is equal to, see in the question how much we are having L by D. L by D is equal to infinity since L by D is greater than 1. And sure. So we are going to take L by D is equal to infinity and S is equal to 0.29. 0.29